What is going on, geeks? UniteTheClans here, back in yo life with another episode of Ark Building Evolved. I am about to make a liar out of myself. In episode 27, we built a bunch of small houses, including that little one over there, these two here that flank the road, and I said in episode 28, I told you what we'd be doing. I said we're going to work on a Viking longship. I'm going to put that off till episode 29, and instead what I want to work on is something I talked about during the last live stream here on the weekend. If you guys don't know it, I live stream Saturdays and Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and I talked about that. I talked about building ruins up on the top of that spire that would sort of loom over this town, that just sit up there and look in the distance, look threatening, look ominous, look intimidating. And that has been the plan, and I've just never dove on the idea. And I think today is the day. You gotta follow your inspiration. And I came on here today and I thought, should I build that longship? We built one in a live stream, and I really do want to build one with you guys on a... How do I put this away? Put this away? Yeah. I do really want to build one with you on a video, and sort of a, not quite step-by-step, but I want to walk you through the process. So before we start today, and good lord, look at the chaos down there. We're not going to go all the way down, because that is pure chaos. There's a lot of Tyrannus and stuff going on. Oh, what a mess. But you can see it out there. We built that Viking longship. It's got those bright striped sails we built out of the 6-panel flags, and it's got a long feel to it, and we put a couple of Rex head trophies on the pillars on each end, and we ended up with what very much looks like a Viking longship. But we're going to put that off till the next episode, and as we walk up here, you are going to begin to get a feel for what the ruins will do for us. Now, not quite in spawn range yet. I went up there and did a little test build there. So as you come into town, those become visible. So no matter where you are, just outside the gates or inside the gates, you're going to be able to see whatever we build up there. And I think by the time you're here, no matter what I build on the top of that is going to be visible. Now, I got a lot of work I want to do in this town, guys, and I think I'm going to be burning the candle at both ends for a little while. I want to power through. I'm kind of taking a little break from spending time on the Patreon servers, where we got a bunch of different ideas and projects on the go, bunch of amazing supporters to play with. Thank you to all of those guys for the support. I've taken a little time off so that I can finish this, so that I can go dive into some projects over there. So I do want to bring this Viking town to a sort of a state of completion, so we can move on to something new and something exciting, and maybe take a little break from Building Evolved. I know people love this series, but right now, it ain't my best series. It always has been my most well-performing series, but not anymore. Ragnarok Explorers Club, some of them videos are blowing up. I think one is at 60,000. I've done a couple collaborations with Jules Haven that are up at like 15, 20,000 views, blowing it up. So I love building, and people love to watch me build. But right now, the exploration, that's my bread and butter. That's what's putting a little cash in the bank account at the end of the month. And I left my job earlier this month, so that cash, I'm counting on it. So what we're going to do today is get ourselves up there, and we're going to begin working on some ruins inspired, once again, by Skyrim and by Bleak Falls Barrow. So do a little Googling if you guys didn't play Skyrim, and if the phrase Bleak Falls Barrow doesn't immediately bring an image to your head, do a little Google job and see what you think. Okay. We made it to the top. So I hope you took a second and Googled Bleak Falls Barrow, and you got some images, you got some ideas in your head. I'm going to talk a little bit about it, how it feels when you're in Skyrim and you see Bleak Falls Barrow, and what I want to accomplish with this. Before we go too far, guys, if you find yourself enjoying this episode, if you like Building Evolved, you like watching me build this kind of stuff, go ahead and click the like button. If I don't ask, we'll get like 150 likes. If I do, we might push through 300. Who knows? So go ahead and do it. Show your love and support for this, and I'll know to keep pumping out these Viking episodes. People have been leaving comments lately telling me they really enjoy it, so I'm having fun. So let's talk about Bleak Falls Barrow. Actually, those spires over there give me a hint of it, but what you get in Skyrim, Bleak Falls Barrow is like, it's the first ruins you see, and there's a bunch like that, a bunch of barrows, but when you Google Barrow, the only one you're ever going to find, the most common one is Bleak Falls, and because it's in the beginning of the game, as you start the game, you start in this little town, you're there with Ulfric Stormcloak, you're being put to execution, then dragons come back, and then you escape. In between that first town, I forget what it's called, and Whiterun, where you find your first task, the first of the kingdoms, whatever you call them. I forget what they're called in that game. And I've been watching too much Game of Thrones. Anyway, so as you're passing between those two places, you see in the distance these big, lurking, ominous ruins, and they look almost like the rib cage of a giant whale or something like that. And when we first came here, my hope and my dream was, like Bleak Falls Barrow in the game, to build it on a snowy mountain peak and to put something up there. But that, if you build up there, you can't see it from our town. And that is why we are relegated to this location. So I did a little zoom. Here, let's do a little zoom out job for you guys. Take a look. So that is the space, that is the size we have to deal with. So Bleak Falls Barrow in Skyrim, and before we actually, let's take a look and see what is in view distance. Not the whole town, but most of the frickin' town. So you won't be able to see it from that greenish patch where we're going to do some farm stuff, but you'll be able to see most of it, and definitely from those city gates. So yeah, so let's talk. Bleak Falls Barrow in the game, it's almost like this big sloping staircase. It has these massive archways and pillars encasing it, and you go up these stairs, and it basically leads you into a cave opening. So if we were over there, we could do something like that, but for us here, this doesn't need to be functional. It doesn't need to be an exact copy of Bleak Falls Barrow. It doesn't need to do anything. It just needs to look good and feel like Bleak Falls Barrow from a down there. So this is going to be the kind of episode, guys, where I build, and then I like where I talk, and then I leave you, and then I go build, and then I back up and I look at it, and then I build, and I back up and I look at it, and I build, and then we come back and talk, and we repeat that 3 or 4 times over the course of this episode. So that is my rough plan. That is my only plan as it stands right now. Normally I'd get some building done before we take a break, but I've rambled quite a bit. So let's take a super quick break. If you like it, click the like button, and when you come back, we're going to be messing around trying to build some ruins. All right, geeks, sit back and enjoy today's episode. I will be back in your life in just a second. Welcome back, guys. What a morning. I love this map. I love sunrise. I love sunset. Ark makes me so happy. So I have yet to back up and take a look at this. This is a creative building series. I think I forgot to mention that in the intro. Since episode 1, I've just built whatever inspires me, spawn in the materials, spawn in the dinos, pick the location, and try and build the best, most beautiful things I can. Maybe not an example of a beautiful thing yet, but a work in progress. And with this series, in the previous sort of, I guess you'd call it a season. I've called them volumes in terms of the playlists. We worked on a harbor town. It's just up there. See that rock? See that rock over there? Yeah, we're just up in there. We built like a little harbor town. And when we did that, I used a bunch of mods. Structures Plus everywhere. And eco trees for landscaping. So when we made a shift, I had a lot of people, and Ragnarok coming out on console. I assume people might be in the mood to build Viking style. What am I rambling about? Jeez. Anyway, the point was, when we came here to the Viking town, the idea was no mods, or as few mods as possible. Try and build vanilla. When it comes to a project like this, I think I'm going to want to bring in Structures Plus. It has stairs, which could make this work really cool, and it has upside down sloped walls that could make these little stepped bits look just like that nice smooth slope on the top. But unless we know this is going to work, unless we know this is going to look good, it's all it's all going to have to be torn down, and we'll start fresh again anyway. But I did want to see how this looked, and we went and stashed a wyvern here, an ice wyvern. And I'm thinking to sort of carry on with that Skyrim theme, on the top of the big snowy mountain in Skyrim is a dragon. And I'm thinking there's a way, once I do this, imagine if you put this dragon on follow of whatever creatures are on top of this, maybe in a little, like, inside the barrow contained somewhere, and you put them on wander, then you might just have like a dragon swooping and flying and swinging around this big thing, trying to follow and stay close enough to the creatures that are inside. And with the turning, I think that could be cool. So anyway, let's do a little backup. We're going to see how this looks. What I'm picturing is like 2, 3, 4 of these different shapes, different sizes, and that'd be the tallest. And then they'd step down, or the other way around. They'd be taller. Maybe that'd be the shortest. But either way, they're going to sort of graduate up, and they're all going to be different shapes and sizes. Yeah, we're going to go with Structures Plus for sure, because I don't like how that's, ooh. And there's our render distance right there. So come on in, and I think I'm on Epic. Yep, epic view distance. So that's as good as it's going to get. That is the beginning of something. It's not perfect. It's not quite steep enough. I don't think I can build it with those exact angles in mind. But that gives you a beginning of the idea. And Structures Plus is going to make it better. So I'm going to step away from you guys again. I will be back, and I'm going to take this up a notch. Welcome back, guys. I think it's a big improvement. It's the beginning of something. I took the top part of that higher. I took the bottom part lower. We've got, using Structures Plus, I managed to get an upside down ceiling. So we have this nice smooth stone texture instead of the wood. And then instead of the slopes, we got S plus ramps converted to stairs. And I've got all the little, where am I gonna? Anyway, all the little upside down sloped walls have taken away the up, over, up, over, up, over thing. And we now have a nice smooth angular thing. All right, let's hop on the dragon. And let's see it from a distance. I hope it's good, guys. I hope it's good. It's starting to look and feel like Bleak Falls Barrow. So that's got a mix, when you look at the picture, it's got a mix of these big archways, kind of shaped like this. They have all kinds of ornamentation on them that we'll have to work out. Some of them have a second arch under the first arch. Some of them have a pillar down the middle. Some of them have pillars on the sides. Some of them have that pillar just on the top that doesn't come all the way down. It's going to be fun to play with, and it's going to be fun to try out some different shapes and designs and things as we move away from it. Okay, let's head down to our town. I just want to see. I just want to look. Yep. Yeah, that's the beginning of something. That's about as big as I want to go, too. I don't know if you want to go a whole lot taller than that. I feel like... Oh, yeah, let me get back in town here. Okay. Let's wander one. Okay. Where does it come into view? It should be in view by now, shouldn't it? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, you can go taller. You know what's interesting, guys, is in my first version of it, I thought the tall side would be on the left, would be closest to us where we started up there. I think the tall side should be at the back. So maybe a small arch to the left of that one, and then increasingly larger arches to the right. I may end up making that first one shorter if the other ones look too tall, but I think that's the start of something. So technique-wise, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing here. I'll take you up here, and we'll take a quick little peek at it. Let's go ahead and turn on land. Let's go ahead and turn on the HUD. How do I turn on my HUD? All right, guys, so we're here. It took me a second to remember my controls. Playing with a new mouse, and the new mouse was bought strictly with Building Evolved in mind. I just want to show you a super quick version of what we're doing in case you wanted to recreate it. I know I do a lot of builds that people do want to recreate. This is probably not one people are eager to build in their world. This series since the beginning has been about creative process and bringing you guys in on the way my brain works, and I'm lucky enough to have built up a little audience from the tutorials that there are enough people that want to see how my brain works when I build that I can do this and have you guys watch. Okay, so rotate your snap points till you get that one. And then we're going to put, okay, let's take that out. We're going to put a wall on top of that. We're going to grab the other one, and same one, sorry, and that's going to go there. And then I've got these S plus ramps. Now the key to them, and let's just cheat for a sec, just for simplicity's sake, so I can show this to you without wasting too much of your time. So these ramps want to snap to the top of a wall. So to get it to go where you want, if you play with Structures Plus, you're going to have to do this. And then Structures Plus, if foundation support is off, you can get rid of that. And Structures Plus ramps are not just ramps, they're also stairs, which is fantastic. And once that's done, see, now we would need the top of a wall to snap our next one to. So we're going to have to go ahead and do this. And, yeah, not quite. And then I can, all right. And then I can do this. Oh, not right either. Okay. So that's it. Let's go ahead and swap this out, switch to stairs. Now you come out, and then you would simply continue this process. It would be wall, ceiling, wall, and then you start coming in with your little slopes. I guess it's this one, and you go boom, and you bring one down below, like so, and then you just keep working it out. So that is the technique I used to get to this point. It's the same technique I used. Most of this build up here is still vanilla building pieces. I just used the S plus stuff where I had to for the upside down slopes and for the ramp stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this all out of here, and I'm gonna play around with a second arch design, and we'll see when I come back how it's looking next to the first. BRB. I keep looking at this from different angles, and I don't, from here, I don't love it. I've been adding details, as you can see, pillars, a little slope wall thing, bits of railings here and there, and I built this whole other arch. I wanted to do one in front, and so I was stuck with quite a small footprint and a limited area, and I couldn't really center it on the last one, but I think that's going to be okay. When I look at pictures of Bleak Falls Barrows, it's mostly centered, but then there are occasionally on your way up, there are little ones. Yeah, there we go. Jeez. I don't want to have to do that one more time. But let's do a little fly out, guys, and we'll take a look before we take a break here. Probably coming up to like 18, 20 minutes into this episode. So I want to sneak away and take another little break from you guys. And then we'll come back in the second half. I'll do a bunch of building between now and the next time we talk, and hopefully I'll have something fun to show you. We'll be able to add some finishing touches, all kinds of stuff in the time that remains in today's video. But let's back up and take a look. It's a little bit busy. Adding in all those pillars, I was hoping would add a lot of depth, and I think it just messes it up. And I think that addition I added on the front, I don't think it's going to work. I think I'll leave it for now, but I think I'm better off removing the pillars that are there. Unless I can beef them up somehow. Maybe I beef them up, put walls in between them. What's Jerboa doing here? Did I put Jerboas here? I don't remember. Oh, yes. I was feeding them to the snakes. I remember now. Okay, so that's what we'll do. In the next, in between now and when we talk, you guys will see another big arch and maybe another big arch after that, and then we'll come back and we'll see about removing what's already here. I did want to take a break, but I just teased you. If you didn't watch the live stream, if you have no idea what I'm talking about when I say I was feeding jerboas to snakes, we got to take a look in Snake Venom Hall. It started off as a tribute to High Moon Hall from Skyrim. In Mortal, I think, was the town, but come on in. Work has been done. We have added details, we have added dining tables, and we have taken this throne room to a whole new level. So those green lights are on there constantly. Check out what we have done. Vicious, hideous snake pit. I think all the jerboas have escaped. That's fine. We'll consider them just rodents living in the city. But this hall has a ton of space that we haven't done anything with. 2 big rooms to the side, a big room here, and there's even space above me for some royal quarters that get a ton of light from outside. So that's a project for another day too. This thing we need to put some work in overall in this Viking town. But that's what I'm trying to do today. We're trying to bang out one big project. So let me go, guys. Let me go work on Bleak Falls Barrow. Let me go work... Lag. Jeez. Let me go work on our Viking ruins. The ruins that will overlook this town and overlook Snake Venom Hall. Alright guys, give me a minute. I will be back in your life. Ooh, I think I've done good, guys. Welcome back. It's the next day for me. A little time has passed, and that's a good thing for you guys. It means I'm not in a hurry to finish this and go to bed. It means that... Ooh, excuse me. It means I can keep working on what I'm working on. So... that looks good from town, and it is beginning to capture the look we're going for. But that first arch, the one closest to us, the one that'll spawn in first here with, yeah, that one. It ain't perfect, guys. I think it needs to be narrower, and I think it needs to be shorter. It's a really good design, but it's too big for the ones behind it. These need to get bigger and taller as they go on, and that one is wider and taller than the middle one. This last one I did some very cool details on, and I really want to keep working on this, guys. So like I said, I get to step away now and record. It's going to be a long one now that I got a whole new morning to finish this up. So how did I do? Definitely smaller, and I think I've captured the same look to it. Guys, this is really coming together. I think I got to put a 4th one in, but I wanted to bring it back. We'll do a little fly down. We'll see. I'm not going to go all the way to town. I'm not going to land. We've been back and forth 100 times from this town this episode. Yeah, that looks good. I think, I wish I'd maybe made them not so close together. Maybe 3 foundations apart instead of 2. But it's capturing what I want. It's capturing the look. I want to bring you guys up here. Like I said, I'm going to go build a 4th arch. And I think like I said, it's a lot of derping around. It's a lot of messing around trying to get it the way I want it. So this is an off-camera build for sure. How do I get through here? Yeah. There we go. Okay, perfect. But before I do, I want to talk you guys through some of the stuff I've been doing. So going back to Cole Harbor and sort of episode, whatever it would have been, 17 to 24, something like that, when we were building over there in the harbor town, I used a lot of Structures Plus, and I have missed it. Lately, the only Structures Plus building we've been doing is with a rally in the Gaming Evolved server, and we're just mainly trying to do goofy things like upside-down toilets and stuff like that, if you missed that episode. But here I'm getting to play with all the tools. So triangle foundations, and I've used triangle ceilings, and I've used those to create a little shape, and you see the same thing here, where you couldn't create that normally. We're using the stairs, and we're using angles with the stairs. And then I have upside down stairs up there, and on top of that, I actually have stone railings. Now, I've kind of done them intermittently. Oh, and I pointed this out earlier. That's an upside down ceiling. S plus the, whatchamacallits, these things will place regular, or they will place upside down, as you can see like this. And when they're placed upside down, anything you snap to them becomes upside down. So you can do some cool things. For example, these are a railing and an upside down railing merged together in order to create a slightly different look. So that's the kind of thing I've been doing. Let me see what else. A pillar right through the middle of this wall. I don't think you could do that normally. And then that is so in Structures Plus, this is quite cool. I figured this out for the first time today. Is it number 9? Yeah. So in Structures Plus, you can snap railings on slopes. What I didn't realize is that, here's a good one, is that if you flip it, it goes like that. How weird is that? So I've been looking for ways to add ornamentation and detail up there, and that is one that worked. And what I actually did is, on that last arch, the one that we just built, I did flipped and not flipped together, trying to create some sort of cool look. So I have, like I said, I got a third one or a fourth one of these to build. I think what I'm going to do is raise up the base of it. These all have the same sort of level. And I think when we get to this one, what I'm going to do I have those on my hotbar? No. The Structures Plus foundations. Yeah. These right here. The Structures Plus foundations are stackable. So you can put one on top of the next. So I think what I'm going to do, I'll build off this like I have in the past. Well, wow. I got some weird snap points going on. And then I'll build up like this, and that will be the base level for the last arch. And I think I'm going to move it even further back so that you can have a nice little staircase leading up to it. Something like that. And it should be, in the end, it should be slightly wider. And that's going to be doable. If I build it in this sort of line, if I build it along right around here. Why'd I spin that? Anyway, so just the way that foundation goes out, and then in a perfect world, it goes out further than this one as well. And I think I should be able to do that, no problem. So I'm going to go work on that last arch. I wanted to bring you guys in and, ooh, what am I doing there? I wanted to bring you in and talk about some of the techniques I'd used. I'm pretty happy with how this is all coming together. I didn't expect it to look good up here. I thought it would just look good from a distance, but I've been working on the details. As you can tell, I've been adding in things you're never going to see from below. I've been adding in doors and pillar details and stuff over on this side that honestly you're never going to see. But I'm having fun with it, and I really I've missed it in this Viking series. Just going off camera, turning off the recording, and just building for an hour or whatever. It's the highlight of my day, highlight of my week. So I'm going to put in the last of these arches. I will bring you guys back, and we will take a final look at it from town, and we'll talk about what happens next in this Viking town. I think it's another longship, but after that, maybe blacksmith, maybe bakery. I need to get it done, and it's maybe like 4 or 5 episodes or 4 or 5 buildings away. Got to put some towers on the walls, got to finish the walls. So if there's stuff you'd be excited to see in those final few episodes, if there's something you feel like this town needs that it doesn't have yet, be sure to let me know. But we ain't done yet for today, guys. I got another arch to build, so I will be back in just a minute and we'll take a look at that. That is good. Good job, UTC. What a boss. Skillful builder. That's awesome. I'm so happy. I can't stop smiling. All right, cut. Yeah, I'm not in love. Guys, I'm trying. I'm really trying, but I think that's probably going to need more work, but not today. I have been derping around with it for far too long. I tried to make it the biggest of the three. So I've got those sort of hexagonal towers on the corners, and I tried to do something different with the shape, but and to tie it ideally into the one in front of it, but I don't think I did the best version. I think I could probably put a little more time into it and get it better. I could also add some paint to this, slate gray paint or silver paint or something to make it darker or lighter to blend in better with the rock around it would be cool. And Eco Trees has not just trees and rocks and bushes, but they have snowy versions of all those things. So I'm wondering if I can capture some of the look of that peak behind me, some of that snow and those snowy trees. So what I think we're going to do, guys, is leave it here for today. It is not done. I would like to come back and tweak it with paint, with bushes and trees, and I would like to make that, I think 1 or 2 small changes could make that last of the 4 arches work and look better. We will see. But for now, I think that's it. I'm going to head down to town here, and when we come back, we'll take a look at how it looks from down there, and then we'll chat about what we want to do after the next episode. It's pretty good. I did a pretty darn good job. It needs fixing, but like I said, that's an off-camera job and a job for another day. I think I'm going to call this one here, guys. I teased, now 2 episodes running, doing a long ship, so I promise we will get into that next episode. After that, what do we do, guys? We have houses we need to do here on the left and one on the right. Actually, 2 here on the right. And then this is a gateway that's going to open up into the greenest, most wide open portion of this. So we could either fill this with the more high-end houses. We could do some farming stuff over here to go in with what we've got here. I've got an idea for a blacksmith. I've got an idea for a bakery, as boring as an idea as that is. I mean, I love the idea, but it's probably not the best for YouTube and search engine optimization. Very few people are going to be searching for Viking bakery, Ark Viking bakery. Anyway, it doesn't matter, but we'll get into that idea. More houses like this one might be good, and we really need to work out the entrance. The whole idea, we have 2 main entrances. Here, let's go out one and in the other, and we'll see how that looks from both versions. All right. So here is one city gate, guys. This is the one that leads you directly down to the docks and that long ship. And I think we look pretty good from here. I do want to fix that last arch. I think 1 or 2 small changes, and it's going to work good. We'll see. We will see. RG's everywhere. Let's just get inside and call safety. All right. And close it behind me. Okay. You coming for me? I hope not. And man, does that look good. That's what I was hoping for. So buildings here. We'll probably do another live stream here on the weekend. And yeah, you should come tune in for that if you guys don't. And then what you're going to have is, I think, a big house off to the left attached to a small house here on the right, maybe with some cranes, maybe with a bunch of adobe. I kind of have a vision for it. And then you're going to come through what sort of a gate with sentries on top of the bridge, and you'll see, boom, there is Snake Venom Hall, and boom, there's our version of Bleak Falls Barrow. From down here, yeah, I can definitely put a little more work into it. Maybe paint each of the arches a slightly different color so it's obvious which one is which. But I like it. I mean, it gives us exactly... Ooh, you're still here. Gives us exactly what we were hoping for in today's episode, today's project. So next episode, we will go play with that long ship. Actually, let's end the episode on the long ship. BRB. All right, guys, I did it. I am here on the Viking longship. Check it out. So we did this on a live stream, as I mentioned, and I think we'll try and recreate it in the next episode. I wanted to put off today so we could work on our version of Bleak Falls Barrow, but this is a very cool design. I actually had a viewer send in some ideas for me. He gave me the rough layout of the foundations, and I added in a few tricks of my own. We've got these diagonal pillars on the front with dragon heads attached to trophy mounts, wyverns on the back. It definitely gives the feel of a Viking ship. And one thing that the guy who sent me the pictures never thought of was the shields. Or maybe he thought of it but didn't think of a way to do it. Those are trophy wall mounts, and they're painted in yellow and green to match the sail, which is all the 6 panel flags painted in yellow and green. and ideally lined up with each other. I tried my best, but that's it, guys. I am really looking forward to doing one of these with you, showing you the concept, but we will save that for next episode. If you are brand new, I don't know who's brand new, but if you're brand new, subscribe already. Click on my picture of my face that's popping up on the screen right now, and there's a playlist that will take you back to the very beginning of Ark Building Evolved, Episode 1, Jack's Landing in an Elk Ranch. And the other playlist is for the beginning of this area, the Viking Settlement. So that does it for this one, guys. I'm UniteTheClans. I will see you in the next episode. Have a wonderful day.